So Lee Cronin's The Mummy is the latest reimagining of the famous IP previously owned by Universal, of course with their Dark Universe, but now it's free domain. So now Warner Brothers has a Mummy movie, and this time it follows a journalist and his family as their young daughter suddenly disappears without a trace. 8 years later, their daughter is returned to them, and what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. Now, if you watched my most anticipated movies of 2026 video, you would know that I was very, very, very much looking forward to this movie. If you didn't watch that video, please go watch it. Please. I was very excited at the idea of Lee Cronin, the same director who gave us Evil Dead Rise a couple years ago, taking the helm of a mummy movie. And I was even more excited at the notion that it would be a full on horror film, considering that, I grew up with the Brendan Fraser mummy movies. Like, I love those movies. Those movies have a special place in my heart. I rewatched those so many times as a kid. Yes, even the third one. I know. Judge me all you want, but I was a kid, okay? Allow it. But yeah, those movies definitely have a special place in my heart. But yeah, those movies were definitely going like down the route of, those were adventure flicks. They were definitely going for more Indiana Jones type vibe. So when I heard that a full on horror movie of the mummy was being made, I was really, really, really interested, and I was very much on board. And I was even more excited when they like released that teaser that, like, I think it was 30 seconds, I don't know, that really short teaser with the really creepy chant on the background. And yeah, it was very creepy. But I will say this, when they released the full official trailer, I did become more skeptical, which I will talk more about later. But first, I really just want to get the positives out the way. Like I said, I was really interested in what Lee Cronin would bring to a mummy movie, and I gotta say, he did not disappoint. Everything I was excited about for this movie, everything I was excited about Lee Cronin directing this movie, it is very, very much here. This movie is disgusting. It's fucking brutal. It's bloody. It's gory. It's creepy, it's eerie, and it's a lot of fucking fun. Like, this movie's disgusting, but it's so much fun. I had an absolute blast with this one. The Evil Dead vibes were just absolutely bleeding through, especially in the last 30 minutes. I was like, this is literally Evil Dead. And I'll get more into that later, but I did enjoy that. From the slimy and sloppy and just straight up disgusting imagery and textures, it's to the sound, which is just designed to get at your nerves. It's nail biting, crushing, teeth grinding. It just meant to rip your nerves, and it constantly made me react. Yeah, and I think all of this just proves to me that Lee Cronin is definitely one of the horror movie directors working today that I will very much be looking forward to. Like, he is definitely a director to look forward to whenever a film of his is gonna come out. I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to it. He did a great job. He just understands. I feel like he just really understands horror. In my opinion, the two most important things to making a horror movie is cinematography and sound design. That's how you build tension. That's how you can scare an audience member. And I feel like Lee Cronin got that down. I feel like this movie definitely further cements that, further proves that to me. So yeah. Also, a lot of split diopter shots in this movie. Like, Lee Cronin's obsessed with it in this one. Like, a lot of it. I'm not gonna complain. It's a cool shot, but sometimes too much can be a bit too much. So, but yeah, this was a very well shot movie. It's a pretty well shot movie. Gorgeous cinematography. I don't like comparing other directors and their styles. I really don't. But just for the sake of it, this the camera movement in this film reminded me a lot of Raka Raka and their films, Talk to Me, Bring Her Back, where it just violently moves whenever something like happens. I think the performances all around are great, but I think I definitely have to give the spotlight to, what's her name? The Natalie Grace who plays Katie, the young daughter, the mummy of the movie. She did a fantastic job. She was fully committed to the part. Like she was fucking creepy, and she did amazing. She was absolutely great. May Calamawy, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry if I butcher it. I thought she was great as the detective character of the film. Nice to see her on the big screen. Loved her in Moon Knight. Um, I also really liked how they treated her character in this movie because most of the time the detective characters in these kinds of movies they're kind they s- they end up being ignorant and pretty useless and pretty dull. But I was really interested in her character in this movie. Like she gets shit done, and I really like what they did with her character for sure. Now, I mentioned a while ago how I had some skepticism going into this movie. I like that it was going full horror. That was one of the things I was most excited about. I really, really was. But the premise of it being just another possessed daughter type of movie definitely made me go, really, really, really. Like when that trailer, like like the full trailer released, I was like, oh, so that's straight up the premise, because we've seen that a lot of times before. I mean, you have The Exorcist, Pet Cemetery, Possession with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We've seen this a lot of times before. So a part of me was thinking that it might not fully feel like a mummy movie. I was really hoping that it could still very much lean into that grand scope of the mummy of the with the ancient Egypt, with the mythos, with the mythology. It's here. All of that is here. All that exposition is here. But it's just one of those things where I can take it out of the movie and it'll still be the same exact movie, kind of. Like it just doesn't fully feel like The Mummy. It's a movie about a mummy, but not the mummy. Maybe it's just because I got used to the Brendan Fraser mummy films where they're grand in scope, they're big, and yeah, they're big, they're almost epic, these epic kind of movies. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe those are the films that I grew up with. Maybe that's probably why. But for what they were going for, I think they did a pretty good job. For me, this is a better Exorcist movie than The Exorcist Believer, which came out a few years ago. So there's that. It's never boring. If someone says that they were bored from this movie, I really don't know what else to say to that person, because how this movie may not be for you, and you may have flaws with this movie, but to call it boring, it really isn't. It's constantly moving. I was constantly entertained. I was constantly engaged. I will say this though: the mom in this movie was getting on my nerves at certain points. Like genuinely, those TikToks or skits on the internet where people just make fun of the characters in horror movies, of the families in horror movies where the parents are just woefully ignorant about the strange shit going on around them. That's the mom in this movie. That's basically the mom in this movie at a certain point. And it was kind of pissing me off. Like, genuinely, like, strange shit was already happening. And she was just playing the grief card. And I was like, really? I believe in God, so like if I were the parent of this kid, of Katie, and I saw my kid doing that shit, I'd be like, "Hey Katie?
I'm gonna kill your full fucking family.
Hey hon, call the priest. Call the priest. Oh, yep, no, call the priest. We're going to the church. We are going to the church. We're taking Katie to the church. Oh no, that is not normal. No, that's a demon. That is a demon. We're going to church. Call the goddamn priest. Don't even question me. Don't even try to question me." The family drama too was kind of shallow, considering the movie does try to push that to the forefront. But I just really wasn't fully invested in that aspect of the film, and it kind of gets sidelined at a certain point already. Like even though, like during the beginning, like during the first half of the movie, they were definitely pushing it to the forefront, and they just never fully flesh it out. Like I said, it gets sidelined at the second half. But it honestly didn't bother me that much because I wasn't even that invested in the first place. The mystery too, like when the truth gets revealed, like what did happen to Katie, and it gets revealed. I like my reaction wasn't so much like, "Oh shit." It was more like, "Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that's pretty much where I expected the movie to go. Yeah. No, makes sense." Yeah, it just I think Lee Cronin did a great job at directing, like I said, but I just think he needs to work more on his writing. I feel like when it comes to I feel like this movie he really was just focused on the imagery, like he was more focused on his vision, on this imagery, on how to make us react instead of actually like fleshing out certain characters, certain character moments, and certain subplots. But you know what? At the end of the day, I got what I paid for. So, like overall, this was one of the most disgusting movies I've watched in a cinema. But like, if you loved Evil Dead Rise, you're gonna get what you paid for sure. If that's what you're expecting from a Lee Cronin mummy movie, you're gonna get what you paid for. You're not gonna be disappointed. I had a blast. I watched it with my mom because my mom was the one who introduced the mummy movies to us when we were kids, and she loved this. She absolutely loved this. We were both disgusted. We were constantly reacting to the movie, but she loved it. She really did. She loved the reimagining, and yeah, I really had a blast with this. I really really liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for what Lee Cronin does next. Absolutely, definitely a director to look forward to. I hope this makes money. I actually hope this makes money. I really do. Like this is like for a big studio to be making a film like this with this level of violence, with this level of gore. I respect it. I respect Warner Brothers for doing this. Like this is something you would expect from a more indie studio, but for a big budget studio, like for big studio, this is basically a blockbuster making this kind of movie. Absolutely respect it. That takes risks, that takes balls, especially knowing that this movie is not for everyone. It absolutely isn't, but I respect them and I really love that. And yeah, I had an absolute blast with this movie, and I'm gonna give Lee Cronin's The Mummy a B. Oh yeah, to the people complaining out there about like Lee Cronin's name being in the title, just shut up. Honestly, just stop. Like I really don't think there's anything wrong with it. He's the director, he's the writer, it's his vision, and we've gotten a lot of mummy movies already, so I get why they put his name in the front. Like it's happened before. We've had movies like that before where the director's name is in the front. It's not that big of an issue, guys. It really isn't. I swear people just be making issues out of anything these days. But yeah, that's it for me and my thoughts on the mummy. Thank you so much for watching this video. And please continue to support the channel. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.